Ilya, why would you betray me like this? But no, hello everyone. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Crimesight Beat the Heat challenge. Greetings everyone, this is AIM, former Demon Duke, now tormented to try to beat my moderator and good friend Heat at Crimesight. I managed one win out of like 7 matches last night, so it's not looking good for your boy. And that's the point of this challenge. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday. This is of course an unplanned stream, a guerrilla stream, but I got into Crimesight last night and I was like, oh man, I want to stream this while I still have the weekend. I don't know how great of a stream it's going to be, but I'll be sure to kind of narrate what's going on as best as I can. This game is impossible. Good luck. Thank you. Don't forget to change the time so you have enough. Yeah, I added, normally you go at 90 seconds in this when you do PvP. It's a pretty brisk pace. Games are over in under an hour in most cases. I did increase the time to 180 seconds, so about 3 minutes, just so that I have a little time to talk since I am, of course, streaming this. But normally I would do 90 seconds. Of course, you can set it all the way up to like 2,000 seconds, so if you ever want to play just a game where you have like maximum time to consider all of your actions, that is also an option. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on the game display capture, and here you can see it. We're doing random AI preference, so that means that I will either be Sherlock, who is the sort of good guy who's trying to prevent murders, or I will be Moriarty, the evil AI that wants to cause murders to hasten his perfect world plan. It's all very anime and entertaining. If you haven't played the game yourself, it is currently free on Steam, just for the rest of the day, I believe. And then after that, it's still on the Steam Summer Sale. I think it's down to $13, and it's really a great game, a good time. It's like Konami's first original IP in a really long time, and it's pretty fun. Okay, let's get to it. You really wouldn't think that Konami would publish something like this, but they did. It's like 100% PvP. There's almost no monetization to it other than the initial price, so it's just really strange for Konami to publish this. Okay, let's see what we got. Alright, game is going. I am Sherlock. That means that it is my job to protect these 6 individuals. You'll notice they all have names A, B, C, D, F, which kind of helps you remember their turn order. At least their starting turn order. That turn order will change once they start getting sick, hungry, injured, and other things. Basically, the flow of the game is that I control characters and try to keep them out of harm, and my opponent controls characters and tries to get the murderer and the target in the room together. I don't know which is the murderer and the target, and that's what I'm trying to find out. I'll explain more as we keep going. You've got Sherlock here. He's the good guy AI. The game is actually very player-friendly in that it will explain quite a lot as the things go, so you don't have to keep track of everything. Like, if something has happened that eliminated the possibility that a certain person is a murderer, then the game will tell you that by taking this red spider off of them. You can also press tab at any time to figure out who all of the possible murderers for one character are. It's very useful. So there's a lot of things the game does to make it so that you don't really have to remember everything on your own. Around the environment we have food, weapons, and even other types of things like tear gas. But in most cases, as Sherlock, I don't know which is which. I need food, and there's not a lot of definite food options around me. Those would be these green marks. So I might have a bit of a tough time. I'm going to have to just search everything I can. It's hard to decide as Sherlock whether your goal should be to keep everybody together, because then there's lots of witnesses around, which normally makes Moriarty's job hard. But if you do it that way, then you will find that you don't eliminate many possible suspects from your criminal list. That is because at the end of a 3-turn period, Sherlock will make a deduction, and in that deduction he will say, This person couldn't possibly be the murderer because the other person isn't the killer is not within 3 walks away from them. Of course, if you keep everybody bunched together, then you don't have that opportunity. So it's hard to decide whether you should keep everyone together so they're all witnesses, or if you should spread them out a little bit so that you get more information during that time. Alright, here we can see that Moriarty has taken control of Agatha from me. He made Agatha do something that I told her not to do. Basically, if he controls the other people that I also tried to control, he will get an advantage. The difference is he only gets to pick 2 actions and I get to pick 3. But you'll see Agatha went and armed herself with a weapon. Now, normally you might think, that means Agatha's the killer. I've already figured it out. But I have had many matches where he pulled a fast one on me by having people arm themselves who weren't murdered. In fact, it's almost like a basic strategy for Moriarty to get everybody armed, not just the killer. You'll see that some characters continue to take actions even if I'm not controlling them and he's not controlling them. Most of the time, those actions are pretty random and meaningless and don't really give advantage to anybody. So we now know that Agatha's not the target because Moriarty, the one person he cannot control, is the target. Surprisingly, only 2 people ended up with weapons. We're going to try to keep everybody fairly bunched up so that things don't get too dangerous. If I can keep 3 people to each room, I think I'm somewhat safe. Let's see. If the killer and the victim end up in a room together with nobody else around, the killer will take that and the killer's armed. The killer will take that opportunity to murder without the Moriarty even having to choose to do the murder. It'll just happen automatically. And that's the way that I think Moriarty tends to get most of his victories. Sometimes it can happen by complete luck. Agatha took the food that I was going to have somebody else take. That's not good. I'd imagine that so far Heat is probably controlling Agatha both turns. That could mean she's the murderer, or it could be his plan to throw me off. I doubt we'll know until a little bit later. I wish these AI-controlled guys would at least search the rooms when they when they go into them. Okay, this note tells us that food is over here on the right. It would be to our advantage to make sure that people get some food pretty soon, because at the end of 3 turns, your characters will all consume food. If they don't consume food, then their ability to move is weakened. If they don't consume food at the end of 2 nights, then things are severely weakened. This scene here will tell us, it's basically a random chance to occur when there's just 2 people in a room. It will go ahead and tell us that since Freeman didn't kill Ellery when he had the chance, that means that Freeman is not targeting Ellery. It could still mean that Freeman is the killer, but if he is, then Ellery is not his target. Alright, people are starting to get a little bit spread out. We probably want to rein that in if we can. We need to collect food. Catherine, Dorothy, Ellery, and Freeman all need food. Hey, Augersley, good to see you. Yes, we're putting on our thinking caps for today for Crimesight. Right now, I am in a bit of a tough situation. I need food for lots of my characters, and I need it before the end of the day. It's a little bit tough. Unfortunately, Agatha took some of my food, and I'm pretty sure that Heat did that himself, which means there's a good chance that Agatha is the killer. But it's not a 100% chance. Everybody is getting to the point where they're armed, which is not a situation you like to see. We need to keep on searching for food if we can. Agatha is performing an action. She is searching and finding medicine. I doubt that's something that Heat had her do. Heat might be controlling Berkeley, because that was a weird action just now. Now Berkeley has 2 foods. Okay. Oh wait, he took Catherine from me. If Catherine is going to hunt Dorothy, then she now has the perfect situation. She's alone in a room. She has a knife. Dorothy is going to stay in that room, so this could be game over if that was just happened to be the case. We now know that Catherine is not the target because Heat was able to control her. Everyone's getting very spread out. Freeman obtained food. Oh no! Damn it! No! Ah, God, I already lost. This is turn 3. I didn't even make it through a night. Jeez. Ah. I can't believe this. Okay, yeah, that's the fastest death I've had in my entire time playing this game so far. I love Moriarty's face there. What a guy. Okay, well, that didn't go well. Let it be known that the Beat the Heat challenge is off to a rough start. Very rough. Yes, we are unfortunately obliterated. Let's see. Score, Heat, 1, aim, 0. Okay, we're gonna start this over again. Let's see how it goes. I'm beginning to see... I'll talk about it in just a second once I'm sure that Heat is muted. Let's see if I'm Sherlock again or if I'm Moriarty this time. Okay, I'm Sherlock again. I think what I'm going to try to do this time is... let's try a different strategy. Ordinarily, I've been keeping people kind of bunched up. What if I spread everybody to the 4 winds and just see what happens? I've never tried that before, but I mean, I keep losing, so... maybe it's not a bad idea. We'll see. Okay. We will start by spreading everyone out a little bit, contrary to our usual plans. Although, funnily, for this one, where my idea was to spread everybody out, everybody has started, like, mini bunched into one sector. So that's a little unfortunate. I also don't see... there's almost no food just glowing in the environment for me, so we'll have to hope we get lucky. Alright. If you move people 3 spaces instead of just 2, they will become winded, which makes it harder for them to move on the next turn, but... one thing that's interesting is Moriarty can move people 3 spaces even if they're winded. But if he does so, then it will be clear that he's the one who moved them to do it. But it can be a useful tool for Moriarty. Okay, let's see how this goes. You can also see Heat's pointer over here. It kind of shows what he's looking at. So it can be a good practice to just kind of keep your pointer still so you won't give away what you're what you're looking at. But it's up to you. Alright, so Agatha's now armed. Berkeley is up there with her. He isn't really doing anything. Catherine is now armed as well. Let's see. Dorothy has obtained food, so she's not armed yet. That's good. Ellery is... He found the fuse box. The fuse box can turn off the lights in the mansion, which makes it so that witnesses can no longer be witnesses unless they're right next to the target. Alright, luckily it looks like Berkeley and Agatha are not going to kill each other. That's fortunate. Agatha, of course, was armed just now, so if she had wanted to kill Berkeley, she could have. Alright, we're going to keep spreading our characters out. I'm just going to try that different strategy this time and see if it helps. Alright. We are going to go get some food for Ellery, I think. And we are going to... Let's try moving some other characters just to see if we can catch Heat slipping up and controlling them. Although we should probably also move characters who still need food, to be honest. That's important. Let's see. We'll move these characters for now. Let's see what happens. Agatha is moving back into the room with Catherine. I'd imagine he's controlling her. Heat is. Because that move was rather, what would you call it? Determined. It had a very clear use, which was to get Agatha some food. Dorothy has also obtained some food. If I didn't explain it earlier, Moriarty can see where most of the food and weapons are, so if a character does something that's really advantageous to them in that moment, it may be that Moriarty's the one who did it. He just controlled Ellery to go grab something, a weapon. So we now know that Ellery is not the target because Moriarty cannot control the target. Ugh, that scares me every time. But it looks like Catherine and Agatha are also not targeting each other. That's lucky. Sometimes things in this game do kind of come down to luck. But that said, you shouldn't blame everything on luck. There's lots of things you can do to improve your own chances. Okay, so let's see. We still need food for several characters. I think 3 different characters are still without food. You can actually give food from some characters to other ones. Typically, you'd only do that if a character has 2 foods in their possession, or maybe if they... if they're not hungry and the other character is, then it might make sense to give them some food. Let's see. I'm going to try to keep characters a little spread out if I can. We'll see. Ellery needs some food. Luckily, I can actually run him all the way over here. That's what I was trying to do last turn, was give him that food, but then Moriarty controlled him. there's a little meter up here that shows my side and Heath's side, and it attempts to predict how well off each of us are. Right now it's pretty much a stalemate. If the game keeps going longer and Sherlock eliminates more of these possibilities, then things tip into Sherlock's favor. If characters keep getting weakened by being injured or not having food or anything like that, then it tips into Moriarty's favor. Because of course a character who is injured has less opportunity to run from someone who's obviously the killer. Catherine will have an opportunity to kill Berkeley here, I believe, unless Freeman is controlled to do something weird. Hey, Enjo, good to see you. I'm playing Crimesight against my mod, Heat, and he has already beaten me once, so the Beat the Heat challenge is not going terribly well. But that's okay. I can make it up. I can run it back. He's controlling Ellery again. If Dorothy is Ellery's target, then Ellery now has the chance to kill her. Oof. This could be bad because on this turn, Catherine has a chance to kill Berkeley, and Ellery has a chance to kill Dorothy, so if either of those are the combination, then we are in trouble. Okay, it looks like we're fine. Now Sherlock will do a sort of an analysis where he tells everybody if the killer is within 3 walks of any person. Yeah, I gotcha. I'm someone who really enjoys mysteries, so I've been enjoying this game quite a lot. It's kind of like a murder mystery simulator. So here we see, we haven't ruled out anybody conclusively as the murderer, but there's a lot of characters who have ruled out several different possibilities. For instance, Ellery is right there next to Dorothy. We know they aren't going to kill each other. I still wish I'd gotten more information from that. Alright, pawns are eating. We see Berkeley did not have any food, so he is now weakened by hunger. Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I love Umineko. Umineko is my favorite visual novel, and I play a lot of visual novels. And I am, of course, making a Danganronpa visual novel right now, which I hope to have more on in July. But yeah, I love murder mysteries. They're just fascinating stuff. Let's see. At this point, Freeman could be killed by only the people who are very far away from him, which is good. Catherine, the same thing. Berkeley, the same thing. Agatha still has a chance to be killed by a lot of people. Dorothy, everyone on the right. And Ellery, of course, can't be killed by anyone because he's not the target. So let's keep on kind of running our characters away and see if that works out for us. Alright, we're going to search this here. Let's have Berkeley get that food since he needs food. Oh no, that's fine. I actually turned up the time limit for my choices a little bit so that I'd be able to talk to chat at the same time. And so far it's been working okay, I think. Let's see. Who else do we want to move? Of course, if Moriarty gets to that fuse box, he can turn off the lights in the whole mansion, so he might leave a character here for the sake of doing that. Let's see. Who else needs to get... I guess I do need to get somebody some food. Maybe I'll get Catherine some food. Well... Okay, Catherine can't kill Freeman, and Freeman can't kill Catherine, so it's okay for them to be in the same room together. Freeman, let's just have him go get this food here, because we know he needs some. Alright. I think I still have one action left that I somehow have not used yet. Let's take Ellery and move him to go get some food, and see if Heath once again tries to control it. Agatha's on the move, but she's just moving inside the same room. Doesn't really do too much. Catherine is doing what I told her. She is going to get food. The fact that Berkeley didn't move just now... Okay, yeah, he's hungry, and that's why he's at the back. Normally he would move before Catherine, but the hunger makes him move slower. Dorothy and Agatha are now in the room together. Ellery is being controlled, and he is going to pick up food. Okay, that's weird. Freeman is under my... Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't control Freeman. Berkeley's going to go get some food. The one thing we have to hope right now is that Dorothy does not kill Agatha, which is a possibility. Nope, everything's okay. Oof, phew. You have a question? That's no problem. Alright, so we've ruled out Agatha, or Dorothy as Agatha's killer. That's good. Or actually, rather, just Agatha as Dorothy's killer, because Dorothy doesn't have a weapon yet. Which is good news for us. I'm going to try to keep everyone away from Ellery, because Ellery has been controlled constantly. Is it possible to make a locked room mystery as a game possibility? Let's see. Are you asking in terms of this game, or in terms of if you were making your mystery, would it be possible to do making a mystery, would it be possible to do a locked room? In this game, there are situations where you could, Moriarty is kind of angling to make a situation where no matter what Sherlock did to move the characters, nobody would be able to act as a witness. That's sort of his, like, ultimate goal. Oh yeah, actually, you know, let's not move Catherine right now. I think we need to focus on Agatha and Dorothy. We need to get them away from Ellery, to be honest. He's probably going to keep trying to move Ellery, so... let's move these ones. It's actually not possible to, like, lock a character in a room, but you could basically accomplish that same thing by, for instance, having a character be totally blinded and weakened to the point that they can only move one space. That sort of thing, I guess, would accomplish that same sort of idea. Because the weaker characters get, the less they're able to protect themselves. You haven't thought this hard about a game in forever? Yeah, it's, I mean, I just kept losing to Heat, and let me tell you one of the times that Heat beat me. Heat, I had made it so that there were like 4 characters, and all of them were blind and dying and just couldn't do anything, and Heat was constantly controlling them, and I thought, one of these is the murderer, one of these people is being controlled constantly because Heat's trying to get them to murder someone. And so they were all blind, they were all dying up there, and I'm like, these 2 characters are the survivors. They're the ones I can count on. And I had them, like, bunched together, and then they killed each other. They got into the room and they killed each other, and Heat had not controlled them the entire game, and was just waiting for me to move them together, because he knew eventually I would, because they seemed like the only 2 reliable people. The guy is a madman. Speaking of the guy is a madman, here's an interesting factor. Right now they're doing a crossover with Project Winter where these guys replace the dogs. It's basically some sort of like crazed hiker who breaks in through the window, and he will attempt to beat your guys up with an axe if you don't knock him out. Which can be very, very, very annoying, because if you allow them to get beaten up by an axe, they will, of course, take extra damage. You know, we actually have learned a lot of information just now that I should point out. We've narrowed just 3 people down to the killer and 3 people down to the targets. At this point, we know that the target is either Agatha, Berkeley, or Catherine. And we know that the killer is either Freeman, Dorothy, or Ellery. With Ellery all the way over there, if he's the killer, then Heat's really screwed at this point. I think we should focus our attention on the idea that either Freeman or Dorothy is the killer. We know that Freeman cannot be the killer for Catherine. It's probably pretty safe to assume that Catherine is not the victim because everybody is way far away from her who could kill her. If Berkeley was the victim, then he might just be waiting for Dorothy to get alone with her. But Dorothy needs a weapon from somewhere if she's to be the murderer, which makes that pretty unlikely. I would say that the most likely murderer is probably Freeman. If so, then Heat is probably panicking right now at the fact that Freeman has been left alone with the traitor, because if the traitor hits the murderer, then Heat can be in a very, very bad position, because the murderer is his most important pawn for many reasons. Alright, let's see. We want to have Freeman knock out that guy because, honestly, he could move right past Freeman and hit some of our other guys if he wanted to, and we can't really let that happen. Let's see. We also don't want... Honestly, Dorothy's abilities as a murderer right now are not particularly worth considering because she doesn't have a weapon. It would be nice if we could get some more food from somewhere. Agatha's going to be hungry starting next turn. It's actually safe to leave Dorothy and Berkeley alone right now because they, whatchamacallit. Dorothy does not have a weapon. So let's have Agatha go open up this secret passage, and then more of our characters will be able to kind of juke into that room there. And there might be food inside. Let's see. We'll have... What else should we do? Does Catherine need food? Catherine's got plenty of food, so I'm not worried about her. Let's see. At this point, Berkeley and Freeman are safe together, so it would be fine to have them in the same room. I'm about to run out of time. We gotta decide something. Let's have him... Nope. Let's see. We honestly don't want Dorothy and Agatha to be in the same room together, so I think I'm gonna have maybe Berkeley just stay in here with Dorothy. Alright, let's see how it goes. Agatha is moving. This is the movement that I told her to do, so he does not control her. I'm having her open the secret passage. Here's a little Steam achievement for me, too. Catherine is moving. She is moving downward, almost as though she's trying to approach Ellery. Yeah, the secret passages are neat because you can make it so that moving around the place is a lot easier. Heat is controlling Ellery, it looks like. Heat is also controlling Freeman. Freeman is now armed with a knife, which makes his potential as a murderer much higher. The fact, oh no, Freeman didn't knock out the traitor because he'd controlled her, so now he's going to attack Dorothy. Yeah, the music is also pretty darn creepy. Okay, so now Dorothy is injured because she's been hit with an axe from this traitor. That's unfortunate. Maybe the foresight will give us some useful information. We have spread characters out quite a bit, so there might be something interesting to learn. Yeah, wow. Now we know that the killer cannot be Freeman because Freeman has not been detected within range of any of the possible victims. So the killer is either Dorothy or Ellery. So let's look at our potential victims and how their likelihood of being murdered stacks up. You know, Catherine and Ellery both seem to move towards each other just now, which is a little suspicious. Okay, so let's check the... possibilities. If Dorothy wants to if anyone wants to kill Catherine, it can only be Dorothy. Right, so no one can be trying to kill Freeman. Agatha could still be killed by Dorothy, but only Dorothy. If Ellery is trying to kill anybody, it can only be Berkeley. So right now, our goals should be, we want to keep Dorothy away from Catherine and Agatha, and we want to keep Ellery away from Berkeley. So let's have Berkeley move up here. And who else should we move? Catherine's pretty safe from Dorothy where she is. But what we really don't want is we don't want this traitor to attack Berkeley, because we don't want Berkeley to get to the point that he can be easily called up with. So let's have Berkeley knock out the traitor there. There's also a good chance that Berkeley is not someone that he can control, because he hasn't controlled him yet, and he is one of the 3 potential victims left. So I think it's actually quite likely at this point that Berkeley is the victim. Let's see. We don't want Dorothy to catch Agatha, so we are going to move Agatha to where Dorothy cannot reach. What else? What else? Who else do we want to move? If Dorothy is the killer, then she's in a bad spot right now because she's been injured. Let's see. Right now, Freeman is also a somewhat useful piece because he is purely a witness. We know that he is not the killer or the victim. So let's see if we can get him into a slightly better spot. Alright, let's see what happens. Berkeley is performing an action. He will go kick this guy to death. Alright, good job. Catherine is running to the other side of the earth, which is actually good. She's she's one of the potential victims right now, so the further she gets away from Dorothy, the better. Ellery is still moving. He seems to be coming for Berkeley. Agatha is moving, like I told her to. Dorothy is moving. She's not a potential victim, and she is a potential murderer, so that's actually a good thing. Okay, I think everything's kind of going according to plan so far. I'm actually in a pretty good position. It's seeming increasingly likely that Ellery is the murderer because he keeps controlling her, controlling Ellery, trying to close that distance. Nobody is going to die now. That's my prediction. We've got 3 turns left before I win. Alright. So our keys here are... Agatha still needs to be away from Dorothy. That has been accomplished pretty much. Ellery is still trying to get up to Berkeley, which we cannot let happen. He's in a pretty good position to reach Berkeley at this point. So what we need to do is stack some witnesses on top of Berkeley. Theoretically, I can move Berkeley wherever I want without heat controlling him, because he seems to be the target. Let's move everybody into this big room here. No, actually, I can only reach this room with Dorothy, so I think that might be the better option. Alright. Eventually you can get into a useful position where your opponent just can't... Like, Moriarty only has 2 moves and you have 3. Oh yeah, every stinger that appears is jump scare, that's for sure. Every time it zooms in on a character, you're like... Alright, I did it, I lost. But so far, we've been lucky. Okay, so Berkeley's moving. That's good. Obtained tear gas spray. The tear gas spray can be useful against the killer, because if you're pretty sure you know who the killer is, you can make them walk into tear gas. Huh, he did not control Ellery just now. Oh shoot, he's having Dorothy move away, and he's having Freeman move away. I've confirmed it. The killer is definitely, at this point, Ellery. He's doing everything he can to try to get Berkeley alone with Ellery. So the killer is definitely Ellery, and the victim is definitely Berkeley. We've got to do whatever we can to make sure those two don't meet up. But just now, he did not control Ellery. But that's because he was just allowing Ellery to do whatever he would and try to get Freeman and Dorothy away from Berkeley. So that means everybody else is a potential witness, and we just need to try to make sure that... Ugh, this is tough, actually. Ugh. This is rough, because if he moves Ellery into this room and then tells Freeman not to move into this room, he's got me. Oh, this is rough. I don't actually know how I can stop him, because there's nobody left who can move to get to... There is one possibility, but it's very risky. If I were to move Dorothy into this room and move Berkeley down into this room with Ellery, that might do it. I wish it would allow me to just say who the victim is, but you can't actually do it that way. You have to narrow it down. Who, let's see. Gambling with people's lives. I could take a chance on the fact that he's going to not move Ellery because he thinks I'm just gonna... he needs to keep moving these people. If that's the case, then I could maybe even move Ellery. So if he's going to move... If you want to survive, or at least let someone be able to survive. Good luck though, tough choice. Yes, yes. Very tough, very tough. It's all dependent on what he does. Oh, you know, there is a move I can make. I don't know why I didn't think about this. If I move Berkeley all the way up here, then he can't reach. Nice. Okay, let's do it that way. Berkeley will be winded after that, but if my plan has gone successfully, then there's a chance that that won't matter. Alright, let's keep moving Freeman towards Berkeley so that maybe he can act as a witness. Alright, Berkeley's moving. Let's motor! Nice, nice. We've only got to last 2 more turns and then we win. And Berkeley obtained food, so that's a bonus even. Catherine's moving. We know she's... At this point, we know she's not a victim, so that's fine. Everything's good. Alright. Agatha's moving. At this point, we are pretty sure she's not a victim either, so that's fine. Dorothy is moving. This is good. She's moving out where she can act as a witness. And I didn't even have to tell her to do that. Heat is continuing to control Freeman to try to keep Freeman from acting as a witness. Heat is making his move. He's trying to sail, but it's not going to work. Because Ellery cannot move far enough to sail. Alright. Okay, so the victim has been confirmed to be Berkeley at this point, and the killer has been confirmed to be Ellery. So the last thing we need to do is just make sure that Ellery does not catch up to Berkeley, which is pretty darn simple. We just have to move Berkeley. We'll move him as far as we can. And other than that, I mean, it's pretty much our game. I don't think we can lose at this point. Let's see. Freeman can move into here. I don't think there's much point overthinking it, because at this point, Ellery just can't reach. It's too far away. Yeah, this new strategy seems to work a lot better. It seems like as Sherlock, I had entirely the wrong idea. Yeah, it really makes the whole thing come together, I think. It's really an exciting game. Every game plays out a little bit differently because there's some kind of random factors you can't control. It makes things very exciting. So yeah, it definitely seems like spreading out the guys is the right move. But my initial idea was keep everyone together so they can all act as witnesses. But honestly, making the killer chase down the target is a pretty good move too. However, I got very, very lucky because there were many cases where two people ended up in a room, one armed and one not. And if luck had been different, any one of those could have been a murder. So, saving the survivors and leading. That's right, that's me, a leader of men. Everybody's making their last moves. I don't expect we'll see any surprises here, but I'm really glad that she only just found that secret passage, because if I had opened that at some point, that would have been a way for Ellery to reach quickly. The fuse box has been turned off. Ellery's moving, but he can't reach. So sad. Too bad, Ellery. So you'll see this scene, but don't worry. Things will be different this time. Because I have EK Men Sherlock on my side. And then we do the EK Men glasses push. Nice. I'm happy. Finally, victorious A. Science has achieved what we thought impossible. All right. There we go. However, I am sure that Heat has probably caught on to what I was doing during that match, and I doubt he'll make the same mistakes in future matches. Not exactly mistakes, it's really all a gamble, you know. You never know. You never know. Okay, we are going to get ready, and we will start a match after Heat's done looking at the results. Thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm not sure if I said it yet, but thanks Heat for being my partner for today, and thank you also for introducing me to this game, because it is quite exciting. Yeah, we're going to jump straight into another one. These have actually been going pretty fast. You can play a game normally in like 45 minutes or so if it goes all the way to the end, or significantly shorter otherwise. You took a bunch of bad gambles and couldn't set up convincing alternate killers. I see. You were probably playing by your original strategy, which has worked very well, which was to make Ellery kind of unassuming for the first part of the game. But it just so happened that Ellery ended up really far away when you didn't control him, so yeah, it worked in my favor. I got lucky. Okay, let's see, we'll start another match and see how it goes. Good. I'm glad you've been entertained. We'll play some more, so if you feel like watching some more, stick around. Maybe one of these times I'll get Moriarty and you'll get to see me flounder around as a killer. Agatha was supposed to be the first fake killer, and she got shot down repeatedly. I see. Yeah, it was kind of unlucky because she kept ending up in the room, and that allowed me to just rule her out. Again, just entirely luck. Alright, I'm Sherlock again. Apparently, we are not going to be subjected yet to seeing my murdering skills. Okay, So, this time around, we'll try to do sort of the same thing again. Let's try spreading everybody out, since that's the only strategy I've ever used that seems to work. But Heat might adapt to it this time. He kind of knows that that's in my repertoire now. Anyways, let's spread everyone out. Dorothy, you can move up here. Berkeley, you can move up here. And Freeman, why don't you move in here? Heat's already made his choices. Agatha's moving, and she is going to go. I bet she's picking up a weapon. Yep, there she goes. Berkeley is doing what I told him to. He is going to go grab whatever this is. It might be food, it might be a weapon, could be tear gas. Food. Alright. Let's see. Catherine is moving. I didn't control her, and it looks like neither did Heat. Dorothy is moving as I told her to. She is grabbing a trophy. That's not good. Hopefully Berkeley isn't her target, or this is going to be a short game. Ellery is grabbing food. That may be something Heat controlled Ellery to do, because so far I haven't managed to control the same person as Heat this entire time. And looks like Freeman has some food too. After this game, I'm going to take a BRB just to give you some heads up. Afternoon of day 1. Let's see. Dorothy has the chance to kill Berkeley right now if she wants to. And it looks like she is not going to, so that's good. Let's see. So likely killers right now would be Agatha and Ellery. He moved both of those two. Catherine is still not armed. Let's go put her with Freeman. And let's move Freeman even further away. And let's move these guys some more too. How about we move Agatha up here and search. See what happens. Alright, Heat is controlling Agatha this time. I think he may want her to be in the room alone with Freeman. She is gaining food. She now has a weapon and food, which makes her very suspicious. Heat seems to have given both to her. So either she's the killer or she's his designated fake killer. Berkeley went and got a weapon, which is a little suspicious. Catherine is doing what I told her to. And she is, unfortunately, arming herself as well. That's not good. Almost everybody's armed at this point. Dorothy is moving down, and if she grabs a weapon too, we're in... Oh, she already has a weapon. She's got medicine now. Ellery is standing completely still. Freeman is moving as we told him to. And Freeman has collected tear gas spray. Alright, we're gonna see if these two are killers. Nope, looks like they're okay. I thought that would probably be fine because Heat wouldn't have moved Agatha in there trying to kill Catherine, because Catherine wasn't in there originally. He had no way of knowing Catherine would be in there. But there is a pretty darn good chance that Freeman is the victim and Agatha is the killer at this point. So let's keep moving Freeman and try to make sure he doesn't end up stuck with Agatha. Alright. We also still need to get Catherine and Dorothy each food. We'll move Freeman up in here. And we will get... I think Dorothy and Catherine both need food. Let's have Dorothy search here. And we'll have Catherine search in here. We could also move Catherine all the way down there to try to get food. We know it's sure, but I can't move her that far just yet. So unfortunately, she's fatigued. Alright, let's see what happens. Yep, Agatha's moving straight for... Oh, no, she didn't move all the way to Freeman. Either he's trying to throw her off, or... Either he is trying to throw us off, or I may have made some incorrect assumptions. Berkeley is now moving towards where we were sending Freeman, which is a little scary. If Heat has big-brained this and figured out that he's going to chase Freeman with Agatha into Berkeley, that would be like the biggest brain move I've ever seen. I certainly hope that's not what's happening. But it is pretty scary to think that that's a possibility. Freeman's moving, and he is collecting. Imagine having so much food you can't even carry it all. I completely didn't realize that I'd left these two together armed. But it seems like Heat's mostly been leaving them alone, so I'm not that concerned about them. Let's see, it's now time to perform analysis. This will tell us if any killer is within 3 spaces of any character. Oh wow, we got a lot of information here. Look at this. That was a great arrangement of characters. So now we know that if anyone is trying to kill Freeman, it can only be Berkeley. It can't actually be Agatha. In fact, Agatha can't be the killer at all because we've ruled out all possibility that she is. This means that the Berkeley killer possibility is actually pretty darn possible. Alright, so... Can of unsavory beans. Alright, help will arrive in 2 days. That means we've still got 7 whole turns to last. At this point, the only possible killers are Ellery down here. Seems unlikely. Berkeley seems very likely. Or Freeman, who I've been treating as though he's the victim, could actually be a killer. Which would be quite a twist. The only possible victims are Berkeley, who I'm treating as the killer, Freeman, who I think is the victim, and Dorothy down here. All I know is we want to keep Freeman and Berkeley from ending up in the same room together, because that's like the magic combination right now for Heat. Let's move... We'll move Freeman in here and have him collect something. And we will move Agatha in here. We know she's entirely safe now because she's not the victim, nor is she the killer. And we will also move Catherine. And I assume that he will probably move Berkeley. We'll see. If Freeman was the killer, that would be a huge twist because at this point he does not control Freeman for the entire game. If at some point... Alright, let's see. Berkeley is standing completely still, which means that he definitely didn't control her just now. Him just now. Unless he's making just a 1000 IQ play. So it's very safe to keep Agatha and Catherine around Freeman, because if Freeman is the killer, they'll act as witnesses. And if Freeman is the victim, then they will... Oh, sorry, if Freeman's the victim, they'll act as witnesses, or if he's the killer, they'll act as witnesses. So just a good idea to kind of keep them hovering around him. Alright. What would be really funny is if Berkeley was trying to kill Dorothy. I wonder if that's even possible at this point. Here's the, whatchamacallit again. He's pretty far away from everyone right now, so that's a good thing. let's see. Who could be trying to kill Dorothy right now? If anyone was trying to kill Dorothy, it could only be Ellery, and the reason that he had not killed her yet would be because he doesn't have a weapon. That would be an amazing twist. But no, there's a weapon right there, so if he wanted one, he could have one. The stinger still jump scares you. I got you. It jump scares me a bit too. Let's have everybody move into this room up here. I think that would be a good idea. We really need Freeman to have some food, so let's have him start. Catherine could use some food too, so we'll search over here just in case that's some food. And Agatha we'll just put in the same room as them. Alright. We'll see what Heat decides to do. If all of my assumptions are correct so far, then Heat is probably having a pretty miserable game because I've created a situation where it's very, very difficult for him to win. Berkeley's moving into the room with everybody else, and he's going to search that place I wanted somebody else to search. There was another weapon in there. Ellery is actually moving too now. He is still a potential killer. Let's see. But the only person he could be trying to kill... The only person he can be trying to kill is Dorothy. So I think Ellery is pretty much a non-factor here. The killer right now is definitely either Freeman or Berkeley. And I think I've got it figured out. He still hasn't controlled Freeman, so... One thing that could put a fly in the ointment is if this guy catches up to us and beats us up. Quite a few characters are without food. There's a lot of opportunity for food to be in that room, so I think we should probably see if we can get in there. Let's start moving characters in there. Let's see. We have to make sure that Freeman moves, and so do two other people. We'll have Freeman go knock out the traitor. That seems like a safe move because we're pretty sure at this point Heat can't control Freeman. And then we'll also move Catherine in there because she needs to find some food quickly. And we actually need to give Catherine some food if we can. Maybe we'll have Agatha give some food. Actually, I'm not sure we can quite do it that way. Well, we'll see. I'm not quite sure how the giving food thing works. Oh wait, Heat's moving Agatha, so Agatha will not be able to move. Heat just gave Catherine the food as Agatha. That was weird. He's probably just trying to throw us off the scent. Berkeley is moving in a way that makes no sense whatsoever. Ellery is also moving in that same way. This is getting weird. Heat might just be trying to upset the board. Because right now he's in kind of a no-win situation. Alright, so we've taken out the outsider, so he won't be a problem. We've got Catherine moving in there to continue to act as a witness for Freeman. And Dorothy just keeps moving further away. Dorothy is going to start being extremely hungry, but I'm really not concerned. Because at this point, the only danger for Dorothy is if Ellery is the killer, which just doesn't seem to be the case. Alright, let's see. Oh wow, we actually have narrowed— oh no! No! We narrowed it down, but the way we've narrowed it down is Ellery is Dorothy's killer. So as soon as Ellery gets a weapon, he can kill Dorothy, because she has no— she's completely by herself. She has no witnesses around, because I was so certain that Berkeley was the victim. I was the killer and Freeman was the victim. This is terrible. I cannot believe this. Heat completely juked me. Oh no. How do we even handle this? We need to get witnesses up to Dorothy, and we need Dorothy to protect herself somehow. Let's see. Wow, Ellery has a really clear line into Dorothy at this point, and Dorothy's hungry too. Oof. Oh wait, it's the final turn? Okay, okay. Yeah, you're right, I forgot that if I narrow it down to just Ellery and Dorothy, then at that point we're fine. Yeah, I will move, I'll move her as far away as I can. I don't think he can reach her over here. That should be fine. Yeah, I didn't even realize it was the final turn. Thank you for pointing that. Alright, let's see. In that case, let's see. What else should I do? I don't really think there's that many more moves that could make sense for me. Moving Dorothy far away is pretty much the only move that matters. Let's see what happens. Yeah, honestly, I feel like now the tables have turned and playing as Moriarty is significantly difficult, whereas playing as Sherlock seems like the easier option. I don't know if maybe I got lucky again, who knows, who knows. Alright, everything should finish out playing the way that I'm suspecting. It's kind of like playing Among Us, but with like between just two people. Now, of course, you can play this game with up to 4 people. I've been eager to try that, but I've got to wait for it to catch on with people. So far I've really only been playing these 2-player matches. Oof, that was close. I almost messed up there. If he'd been able to move even 1 space further, that would have done it. So Heat was extremely close there. It may look like I got a conclusive victory, but things could have gone either way for sure. It was just fortunate for me that Berkeley and Freeman ended up proving each other's alibis. Irene's OP, but Watson is weak. I see. I think it would be interesting to try. I'll try it at some point. Alright. Good game, Heat. Thanks again for playing another one. We'll go ahead and shock that up. So far I'm winning the Heat challenge to my surprise. Alright. Well played, well played. Okay, so I am going to take a BRB here. I will be back in, let's say, maybe around 5 minutes. Did you notice that 3 times I had Ellery move to where a weapon was, but someone else had already picked it up? No, I didn't notice that. That's amazing. I had thought Ellery was a complete non-factor because I thought he was like, oh, he's unarmed, he's away from everybody, there's really no reason to even watch it. So if you had just been able to get Ellery a weapon at that point, things would have been entirely different. Yeah, that match could have been completely different. Okay, I really do have to rush into that BRB, so I will be back in just a bit. Everybody else, get yourself a snack if you want to, and I will be back in just a bit. Okay, I'm back. Hey everyone, I see you guys were having some engaging chat on Crimesight while I was gone, and I agree with many of your points. I do also think that just for the sake of the stream, why don't I try choosing assigned AI preference Moriarty this time? Because I think it would be fun for me to just at least try Moriarty once before we We've been going on about an hour and 20 minutes. I think we'll probably go, if Heat's okay with it, maybe somewhere around 3 hours, maybe like 2.5 or so. Somewhere in that range. Also, Heat, if you're back... Yep, okay. I just wanted to make sure you were aware, so I wasn't about to start the match without you being here. That would be rather unfortunate. Alright. So you guys will all get to see my fantastic Moriarty skills in action. I have yet to win a game as Moriarty, just to make that clear. I did manage to get a draw game as Moriarty once, but I haven't managed to beat Heat as Moriarty. So the new Beat the Heat challenge is, can I win one game as Moriarty against Heat? We'll see, we'll see. Alright, let's get going. They're to die for. Moriarty also has the best face, so if you're playing Moriarty, you get that advantage. Murder him, literally. Alright. Here we go. Alright, hopefully Heat has things muted by this point, because I am about to explain something to you. The character with the spider underneath them is the murderer. And the character with the sort of crosshair symbol is the victim. So what I'm trying to do is isolate a situation where the two of those will be together. You know, you can also communicate using fun messages like, hello. If you're using public messages, then everybody can, He suspects they are the villain. I see. Okay. What we need to do is think up how this is going to start. I think that I will utilize a fake murderer here. And I will also utilize a real murderer here. What would I like to do with them? I think we'll go ahead and grab a weapon for them too. If I sound less confident, it's because I really am less confident. What? Agatha went and grabbed the weapon that I was... Well, okay then. If Heat didn't move Dorothy, that might work well for us, because Dorothy will look like they're doing nothing at all, which will take some suspicion off. Alright, Heat knows that I'm controlling Catherine right now. That might make Heat think that our fake murderer here is a real murderer. That would be quite nice. Yes, Heat does not realize we're controlling Dorothy. Ooh, that's a good situation. Heat probably doesn't... Heat won't have any idea that Dorothy is suspicious then. He'll think I left her alone completely. So now, Heat has pretty good reason to think that Catherine is suspicious, and shouldn't have any reason to think that anybody else is. I think, alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let him control Dorothy on and on. And eventually, he's going to want her to pick up something, right? He's going to want her to have some food. So he will pick up a knife and have, or, you know, a weapon of some kind, and he'll be entirely unsuspecting of the fact that she's dangerous. The only problem is I need him, he's also doing that thing that I was doing where he moves Freeman really far away from the group, which is a little bit unfortunate. I've got to figure out how to handle that. Let's see. So I'll just leave Dorothy alone. She'll get armed at some point. For now, let's see. Let's have Agatha kind of chase Berkeley for a while. Maybe that'll scare him off. We do need Dorothy to get both food and... I'm sure he'll continue to try to supply her because she doesn't seem suspicious. He'll definitely know I moved Agatha if I do that, so... Why don't we let him... Let's let Freeman be on his own for a while. Let's not chase after Freeman. For now, Catherine is our fake killer. Let's go have her take the food. And... let's see. Ellery, why don't you join the ranks of our fake killers? Let's see how it goes. Agatha is moving on her own, and she is arming herself. Or rather, revealing a knife. Okay. Berkeley is moving on his own. Not doing anything suspicious. Catherine, he is not trying to control her this time, but so she's going to get the food scot-free. Dorothy's moving on her own. She's not collecting anything. That's not good. He now knows that I'm controlling Ellery as well, so he knows Ellery is not the victim. Ellery is now armed as well. Freeman is moving further and further away. It's a little bit surprising. He's definitely using my separate Freeman strategy. I'm going to have to count on the fact that eventually Freeman is going to circle his way back to everyone else. I'm just going to have to play the long game. But I think the rest of these guys are going to need to stay in a group because we need them to... we need it to be clear that there's a chance any one of them is the murderer, which means I have to keep them in vicinity of the real murderer. That's true of Berkeley and Agatha. Let's see. Alright, so Ellery is one of our fake killers. Let's go arm him with... no, actually it's the night. We don't want anyone spread out at night. Let's move Catherine in here. And we will move Ellery in here. We want to create a situation where they still seem believably as though they could be the killer. Wait a minute, no way. Did I correctly see that that Dorothy just gave her food to Agatha? Because if so, that was like the worst possible thing for me. Jeez Louise. Ah, everyone's getting really spread out. Oh, this isn't good at all. I think I may have lost the game already. Because I've created a situation where he's either going to know that I don't know, I think this is bad. I think I've already lost. Because at this point, he's going to reason out that Agatha's the only person who's within vicinity of the murder. And so a lot of potential options are going to be closed off. Oof, yeah, that gave him a lot of information just now. So at this point, he has reason to think that either Freeman is suspicious, or I don't know. Actually, we haven't ruled out. He hasn't ruled out a single murderer conclusively yet. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, we can somehow get Dorothy up to Freeman. So at this point, he still thinks just about anyone could kill Freeman. Alright, I think it is the time where we are going to have to stop neglecting Dorothy. It's fine if he figures out that I'm moving her, because I think the others still seem plenty suspicious. At this point, Freeman could still theoretically be killed by any of them. Let's see. So what we're gonna do is let's have Dorothy move in here and disable the fuse box just to see if we can throw him off. Actually, I really need her to get a weapon. Let's see. I could just have her pick up the weapon at the floor here, but that would be really suspicious. There's no point in tripping the fuse box yet, because if I did, I still am not in any kind of position to kill. Then what shall I do instead? Let's move her up for now. And let's see. We will also move, let's say, Catherine up as well. That doesn't really help me that much, does it? Let's see. We'll just make a weird move like this. Oh wait, if I move her that far, though, he'll understand what I'm doing. I can't afford to do that. I gotta make my move somewhat quickly. It's trying to run out of time. Don't like that. So he now knows that Agatha's moving. Which means he knows that she's not the victim. Right. Thankfully he was not trying to move Dorothy, so he doesn't see anything suspicious going on there. What I'm going to try to do is make a kind of a pincer attack between Agatha and Dorothy here, where he has to kind of guess which one is the killer. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we can kind of abandon Ellery and Catherine for now, because if he thinks they're suspicious and he leaves them down there, then they won't be able to act as witnesses for Freeman, which is useful for us. Alright. Afternoon of day 2. Alright, so we need to... Let's move Agatha again. Where should we move her? Let's see, Dorothy is still not armed. We need to change that. Where would be the best place to arm her? We'll do it up here. I want to create a situation... I think I'm going to try to go a little bold here. I'm going to create a situation where it's pretty obvious who I'm moving, but he might not be able to do anything about it. We'll see, we'll see. I want to do as much as I can before he has a chance to do the analysis again next turn. Because once he does the analysis, it'll be pretty darn clear that Freeman is the one in danger. It may mean that it'll be my last turn. So I need to get this pincer attack developed as closely as I can before then. In this situation, it may actually be very handy that he's had Freeman run away from everybody else. And Berkeley can't even be a very good witness for him because Berkeley is hungry, which means he can only move 2 spaces and can't run under any circumstances. Yes, with any luck, I will have this wrapped up possibly as soon as next turn. It's really kind of dependent on what Heat has Freeman do here. Surprisingly, Heat has still not thought to control Dorothy yet. But he might be getting suspicious at this point. You have to figure. Ah, yes. He's moved into the room. As a bonus, Freeman is armed now too, which... if he thinks I'm just ignoring controlling Freeman for any particular reason, that might help. This isn't particularly simple. There's a few potential dangers here. I was sort of hoping he would tire out Freeman, but so far he hasn't. He's only been moving Freeman 2 spaces to avoid that. There's a good chance he realizes at this point that Freeman is the victim. Alright, so I don't have him quite checkmated enough to make this work yet. I think what I'm going to need to do is... let's pretend that Agatha is still closing in. We'll trap him between the pincer attack here. And then, even if he figures it out by deduction next turn, I think we'll still be okay. So we'll have Agatha move here, and we will have Dorothy move in here. He may very soon realize that I'm moving Dorothy and try to move her, which is fine. I think I'm prepared for that possibility. Also, if he keeps Freeman in that room right now, I win. If he doesn't move Freeman out of that room, then Freeman is alone with the killer and nobody else to help. He might move Berkeley into that room, though, to protect Freeman. It's a little tense because right now, this could be my win state right at this moment. It'll be very interesting to see how he chooses to move Freeman here. I can tell he's kind of realized the situation he's in because he's taking a a bit of a lengthy time with his own turn. Right. So Agatha's moving. She's collecting food. And what happens next? Catherine's moving. She's collecting another weapon. Okay, okay. Dorothy is moving. He's still not trying to control her. But what will Freeman do? That's the question. Oof, he moved into the next room. If I had used a sail on Freeman, I would have won just now. He collected some tear gas spray. Shoot, Berkeley's moving into the room. I wish that had not happened. But Berkeley has no food, and he is about to end up in a state where he is incapacitated from that fact. Which means his ability as a witness is about to go down to 0. I predict that this is going to be a situation where... Uh-oh. Poor Ellery. He's in danger. Okay, the foresight I think will be okay here because it's still going to tell him that Freeman is nearby many other possible killers. Let's not get hasty and try to sail, because if we do, we'll tip our hand. What we want to do now is we want to play this nice and easy and create a situation where he runs to Catherine for protection and cannot get it. He knows now that Ellery is pretty much a non-factor. He might try to run right on top of Berkeley at this point for protection. Because the only way Berkeley can act as a witness at this point is if you're right next to Berkeley, like on the same space as he is. So right now we want to... Let's see. Freeman thinks that his killers could be either Agatha, Catherine, or Dorothy. So let's try to move... Let's see. Catherine, you can go up here and get this food. And Dorothy... Nah. I might better let Catherine keep doing her thing. Agatha, we'll have her collect some more food. And Berkeley, we'll have him... Let's see. You know, my worry here is if he moves Freeman here, if he continues to try to run, if he's already tipped off here, then I could win just by moving Dorothy into that same room. So let's try moving Catherine far away so that she can no longer be relied upon. In fact, why don't we go have her trip the fuse box? And let's have Dorothy move in here and see if we can grab some of this food. We'll see if maybe he left Freeman in that room by himself. That would be quite advantageous for me, wouldn't it? Let's see, let's see. I've got 4 more turns here. No need to rush. It's my game to lose. Alright, so he now knows I'm controlling Dorothy. That's fine. Even if he knows that, there's still several potential killers. Freeman's moving. He's staying in the room! I got him! This is it, I won. Dorothy's alone in the room with Freeman. That's the end of it. Berkeley can't move far enough to get into that room now. Ha-ha! Also, Rip Ellery, who's going to be taken out by an axe murderer down here. But you know, who cares? 2 murders are fine. Ho 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 ho! Big got him move. Nice, nice, nice. Today, evil wins. GG, Heat. I had to, I think the pincer strategy worked better than I thought it would, but it seemed to work perfect. Fantastic. I got a little achievement for committing a murder with Dorothy. That's fine. Let's set up the win counter by 1. Close results. You pretty much feel, yeah. I created a pincer attack between the fake Agatha killer and the Dorothy killer, so I was like, even if you figure out that Dorothy's suspicious, I don't really think you can do anything about it because Agatha is just as suspicious. And then I just kept taking all of Berkeley's food so that he would be a non-factor. That was fun. Alright, so I guess I've beaten the Beat the Heat challenge now. A lot of luck was involved there, but we've managed to get that Moriarty win that I was looking for. So we'll go back to random and give it a chance to be Sherlock or Moriarty at this point. Are you still good to play a few more Heat? Everything going okay on your side? Sorry, you probably hear me drinking really distinctly thanks to this new mic. I should probably mute mic when I'm going to take a big gulp of wine. Okay, let's play a little bit more. Start match. Yeah, that was a situation where a lot of my different, yeah, now it's the Heat the Beat challenge. Where Heat must become the Beat, parentheses, Alright, looks like I'm Moriarty again. Let's see if my tactics will once again come to bear. Right. Once my mouse cursor is invisible, I'll kind of show you what's going on a little bit. But Moriarty will also explain it if you're capable of reading that. You'll see the spider mark under our killer and the crosshair mark under our victim. There's a lot of food around here. So Heat's characters could be very well fed if we don't do something to interrupt that. Let's see. We want to create that same kind of pincer attack dynamic. Let's start by arming some characters and moving them far away at the same time. We will... Maybe we'll create a situation where he'll arm our killer for us, so let's go for that again. In the meantime, we will go arm Berkeley. We will go arm Catherine if we can. Let's see. Actually, why don't we go have Catherine get some food instead? Okay. You know, actually, I'm not sure I like that plan. I'd rather have somebody armed right now. Let's take Freeman and go arm him in there. Agatha's on the move. She's not really doing anything other than moving, so that's probably not a move that Heat made. It's probably just a random move. Berkeley's got a hammer. Catherine is on the move. Not really doing anything. Dorothy's on the move. She is collecting food. Nice, nice. That's always good. We do need to get a weapon at some point, but no need to rush it. There's plenty of weapons around. Ellery's also collecting some food. These characters are not splitting up as much as I expected them to. Heat now knows that I'm controlling Freeman, which is okay. No worries there. He knows that I have armed Freeman, and it's pretty likely he's going to stay away from the right side of the mansion now, just to get everyone away from Freeman. Alright, no worries. Everything's okay so far. We really do need to get Dorothy armed. I think the best course of action here might be to arm two people simultaneously. That way, if he sees Dorothy get armed, it won't be any more suspicious than the other person becoming armed. Let's see. We'll go down here and... So we can arm Ellery down there. That's fine. Search. And we can arm Dorothy there. Agatha's on the move. She's moving down into the main room again. Berkeley is on the move. I'm not the one controlling him, and he's going to take the weapon that I intended for Ellery to take. Catherine's moving. She's still not leaving the room, which is a little unfortunate. I wouldn't have minded her spreading out a little bit. Alright, Dorothy's moving. I don't think in a particularly suspicious way. Obtained a trophy. And Ellery. He realizes I'm controlling Ellery now, but it will look like I'm controlling Ellery to do nothing. I wonder how that plays into things. Freeman has found yet another knife. Alright, what should we do? So far he knows that Ellery and Freeman are both his potential killers and not victims. But I don't think he knows who the victim is yet. That's all okay. What else should I do? Let's see, Agatha has not collected any food yet. What we could do is try to have other characters collect the food, the ones that he thinks are suspicious. So let's have Freeman run over here and take this food. And let's have Ellery run over here and take this food. Agatha's actually moving off by herself. That's a little surprising. Unfortunately, she is getting food. Oh shoot, Agatha is going to realize that she is not in the presence of any particular killers. I wonder if there's any problem with that. Everyone's still kind of in range of Dorothy, mostly, which is good. Catherine's gonna take that food. That's okay. Not ideal, but it's fine. Dorothy's gonna move herself. Oh, come on. That's not good. That was a really unfortunate random action just now, unless he did that. If he did that himself, then he's already completely figured us out. Which would be very unfortunate. Here's the outsider once again. The upper part of the mansion. It's really funny how they still refer to the outsider like he's some sort of animal. I find it funny. It's because he's taking the place of the dog that normally happens in here. Oof, he got a lot of information off that one. Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, Dorothy moved pretty far away, so the number of people who were potentially killing went down pretty darn highly. Alright, let's see. So at this point, he thinks any of those three could be targeting Agatha. Let's see. We should just keep playing things somewhat quiet. But we really do need Dorothy to get closer. Alright, let's see. What we are going to do is... let's pivot and make Catherine our potential killer here. We need to move her, but we need her to not catch up with Agatha. I wonder if there's a chance he still thinks Dorothy is going to be murdered. Let's see. If Ellis was going to kill anyone, it could only be Agatha at this point. If Freeman was going to kill anyone, it could only be Dorothy at this point. We should really try to avoid tipping off our hand that Dorothy is the killer at this point. Why don't we... have... I'm gonna have Ellis give Freeman some food. And... I will have... let's see... why don't we have Catherine arm herself? You know, I just hate letting him move Agatha further and further and further away. That's just dangerous. But I can't really stop him from doing it either. Where did the outsider come in? Up there. Maybe eventually that character will start to be a little disruptive. Let's see. We'll have... at this point, Berkeley could be trying to kill Agatha, but that's it. He already knows she's not trying to kill Dorothy. I'm starting to run out of time. I'm gonna have to hurry this up. I might just have to rely on Dorothy getting food by herself. Oof. Agatha, shoot, she's just moving further and further away. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And now she's got food too. This This could be mine to lose. I've kind of failed in setting up that pincer attack again. Catherine's gone and armed herself, which is kind of interesting. Ah, shoot. He knows that Dorothy's not the victim now. That's bad. He already knew that Ellery wasn't the killer. Gonna give Freeman some food. That's suspicious. Alright, so let's see. Freeman is moving himself wherever he wants to. Oh, this is bad. We need to make extra certain that this guy doesn't hit or or murder. That's important. We've still got 6 turns. Alright, we have to make absolutely 100% certain that that person does not knock out our murderer. So, let's see. Sheesh, she's really on the other side of the world by this point. This is really unfortunate. I wonder what the best way to do this is. Let's just make sure we keep that guy far enough away from Dorothy. Shoot, at this point he's reasoned out that Freeman is not dangerous at all. That's not good. I kinda messed up there. Ugh. Yeah, this is tough. I don't know what to do here. I think the only thing I can think to do is to try to bum rush Dorothy up at him. Let's see. I'm also going to hit that traitor because I just really don't want him to... I don't think he's going to help me because of the way he's positioned. And I really don't want him to knock out Dorothy. I don't think he's controlling Agatha right now. Ooh, that secret passage could be useful, right? He knows I'm controlling Dorothy. Ah, shoot, I think he's moving Ellery because he realizes that Ellery's not a potential, and not likely to be a killer right now. And so he's trying to get Ellery up there to serve as a witness. We're actually in a bit of a rough situation because Dorothy is about to be outed as a person who is the killer. Yeah, I think this might be about game over for me. Oh, sheesh. This isn't good. Yours truly is in some serious trouble. Alright, which puts me in a better position? Being up here or being up up here. Not quite sure. Let's see. I think being in here, probably. He's going to realize that I'm moving Dorothy, but that doesn't necessarily tell him Dorothy's a killer. However, I mean, it's going to be obvious. It probably already is obvious. And we're going to move Ellery to the other side of the earth. Let's see. Where he can't hurt anyone. Heat will, of course, realize that I'm moving Ellery, but I don't think he'll be able to do much to stop me. I really hope Freeman does not try to approach the left side of the map again. That's kind of really my biggest fear right now. If Agatha stays right where she is, then she will know she's within 3 spaces of the murderer, and that will mean it's the last turn. That could be game over for me. If she moves just a little bit, though, then potentially there will be several killers for her. So I really hope that he decides to move Agatha either in here or further over here. If he decides to move her down towards Ellery, that would also be good, because the two would be in the same room together. Okay, so he's moving her there. What this means is, it's a little inconvenient for a few reasons, but it does mean that he won't have narrowed it down to just Dorothy, which means I'm not going to be on the final turn. Alright, here's Ellery. Is there any way? There's not any way to get from that room into the next one, is there? I would hate for... Oh, actually, they're pretty close. Ugh. Alright, so at this point, there should still be several possibilities for the murderer. It actually looks like he didn't get any new information from that. But it's already a pretty tenuous situation. Several of the characters are hungry, which is good for us because it means we're suited to be witnesses right now. But they're not totally unsuited either. Let's see, how will we move Dorothy? The question is, will he have Agatha continue moving this way, or will he turn around? He'll probably continue moving this way because he wants to get towards witnesses. So I might try to juke him and move Dorothy into that room. However, he's got plenty of options for other people to move into that room with her. Let's see. We will take Ellery and move him a little further away. Let's see what Heat has decided to do. Ah, she did. Or he didn't. He instead moved Agatha back into this room. Now she's got a knife. Careful, she's got a knife. Unfortunately, even if he had done what I thought he would just now, it wouldn't have quite worked because Freeman moved the wrong way. Wait, Catherine is spraying. Wait, what? At this point, he might think Ellery is a murderer, which, if so, interesting. A gas leak? Come on. Seriously? Alright, so I now have the ability to assail Agatha, but it's still dangerous to do so because he will probably move further into that room at this point. However, I should be able to catch up to him, and then theoretically next turn I may have exactly the situation I want. Alright, Dorothy keeps moving there. Let's see. What else do we do? What else do we do? A lot of characters are about to start dying from hunger. I'm not quite sure what to make of that because Dorothy is one of those who is about to become hungry, and once that happens, I won't be able to use her to chase down anymore. Oof. We're just gonna have to see. Freeman is kind of his best pick as a person to protect Catherine right now as a witness, so I'm going to have Freeman move into this poison gas cloud. I should have used a sail. That would have had it. Oh no. This is exactly backwards of what I needed. Wow, he moved Agatha into the gas room. I mean, yeah, that protects her for this turn, but she is going to be gassed. Catherine is repairing the gas leak. Okay, okay. He realizes he can trust Catherine now. And Ellery is just moving in here. Berkeley's pretty much a non-factor. He's basically a dead man walking at this point. This is getting weird. I think I still have a chance, but it's pretty rough. So Freeman is injured, Ellery is hungry. We're just gonna have to keep moving at this point. Let's see. We've got to move Catherine out of that room. Shoot. This is a tough situation. If we move Catherine, then it will be clear that Catherine is not the victim. Sheesh. He might have me dead to rights. There's too many witnesses around here. The only one that's not hungry, though, is Freeman. He's got an injury. And so that means next turn he'll just be hungry instead of super hungry. Let's see. I'll just move Freeman away for now and see if that'll work. I'm being a little haphazard considering how few turns we have left, but that's all I can think to do. Ellery is... Shoot, he's staying in the room. I think I might be about out of options. Ah. Unfortunate. Ooh. I wonder if there's any way to make this work. At this point, rescue is in 1 turn. Let's see. What does this do for us? I don't think he'll get any new information. No, he got a little bit of new information. He now knows Berkeley isn't the victim, which I suppose was probably obvious at this point. Rescue in 1 turn. I think that means that assailing is now our best option. I am interested to see what he will decide to do with Agatha. Shoot, the problem is now Dorothy has no food, so chasing down is going to be troublesome. Oof. But I pretty much gotta assail because it's my last turn. If I don't assail now, then next turn it's all over. I don't know. Let's give it a shot. I don't know if there's any chance of this working. Shoot, Agatha moved. Yeah, we're in trouble. Yeah, I think we're done. There's a very minor chance that he's sweating right now, thinking that, yeah, this isn't gonna work. He's probably saying, oh, that's stupid. AIM was moving the character who was the killer this entire time. Yeah, I can't do anything. All he has to do really is leave Agatha on that space. And then move everybody else onto that space. Ah, no way to win there. That's unfortunate. Shoot. In fact, actually, all he has to do is move Catherine over here, and I can't reach anyone. Yeah, we're done. Oh well. It was a fair enough effort. Just in case, I guess I'll move Catherine just in case he for some reason decided to move left here. Try to juke me. I don't think that's likely. I think he knows that all he has to do is move twice and he's okay. I don't think he realized that, but he's still gonna win because he's just gonna pile people into that space. Yeah, all he has to do is just keep piling like Ellery and Freeman onto that space and he'll be fine. Oh well. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, did. There's only 2 witnesses, it should be fine. Oh wait, I got it! I guess if they're injured and sick, they don't count as witnesses at all. Wow, I didn't realize that. I didn't know that was gonna happen either. I guess we now know that people who are completely like blinded by hunger can't act as a witness at all, even if they're right next to you. Expertly played by yours truly. A real criminal mastermind adapts and changes the rule. But anyways, good game, good game. Alright, let's close the results. Would you like to do one more, or do you want to wrap it up for now? We've been going about 2.5 hours almost. But I'm fine to do another if you'd like. Maybe one more to end the set. What you think? How are you disposed? Gotcha. Okay, one more. Do you have a preference on whether you're Sherlock or Moriarty, or do you want to just leave it up to chance? Leave it random? If you do want to pick one, just pick whichever you want, and I'll just leave mine on random. Okay, gotcha. Alright, let's start her up. Last one. The Beat the Heat challenge has been going better than I predicted. It really is a lot up to luck, isn't it? Alright, I have one more chance to be a murderous bastard. Let's see. You know, sometimes I do so many reading streams that if I see anything on screen that can be read, I feel like it's just my duty to narrate it. But I won't for the sake of this game, because we need to play at least somewhat quickly. Alright, you see we've got the murderer and the victim down there. Right now, I think that I shall go grab a knife with the murderer, perhaps? And go grab a knife with Berkeley. Let's see what Heat will decide to do. What will it be? Alright, Heat was also trying to move Agatha. He now knows that I went and had her pick up a knife. Probably makes her a little bit suspicious. It would be really nice if he moved Ellery up into that room too. That would be like the fastest, that would be like the Exodia win in Yu-Gi-Oh! We'll see, we'll see. Did I get a first turn Exodia hand? Perhaps? Nah, he did. Too bad. He's not controlling Ellery at all yet. That's okay. We'll be a little bit more patient. Okay, at this point, I will have somebody else go grab that knife would be good. Who should it be? He had Catherine pick up some food earlier. Let's let it be her. She's gonna go get a knife. And Agatha, why don't you go grab that food over there, honey? I'm curious to see if he tries to spread out or if he's trying to keep his characters clustered up. He may have been trying to move Agatha out for the sort of zoning strategy of getting one character away. But hard to say. Hard to say. Agatha's gonna grab some food. There's quite a lot of food over to the left. It might be dangerous if he discovers that. Berkeley's gonna feed himself. I'd imagine that's heat stewing. Catherine's gonna run grab a knife. It's probably apparent that I did that even if he doesn't explicitly see me that I'm the one doing it. Dorothy is moving on her own. She's gonna go grab some food. Ellery is going to join the others. That's a little troublesome. He's going to realize now that Berkeley isn't the killer. Well, yeah. Several revelations are going to be made now, but first off, I lose the ability to use Berkeley as a threat to Ellery. A little unfortunate, but I think we're still doing mostly okay. It's to our advantage if we can make sure that Ellery does not get food. To that end, perhaps I will have some of the others gain food. Agatha, why don't you take that food too? And let's see. Dorothy, you can take that food right there. Let's try to do our best to keep Ellery from getting fed. Agatha will be taking this food. Berkeley is going to take this food. Well, actually, Berkeley's just moving. Looks like he's not going to take it. Catherine keeps moving around. I think pretty soon, yeah, at the end of this night, they're all going to realize Catherine isn't the killer because she's away from everybody else. But I think her victim status will still be possible. Dorothy obtains some food. That means there is currently no food for Ellery. How sad. Oh hey, Abir. Good to see you, good to see you. We're playing a little Crimesight with my mod Heat. I'll shout you out real quick. Sparrow Corporation. There you go. Streaming just chat. I gotcha, I gotcha. We recently raided into Ibero to check out that new model. It's actually been out for a bit, and unfortunately it took me a little bit to get over there. But anyways, what were you doing? Right now we're playing Crimesight, which is a multiplayer game. It's sort of a murder mystery. I'll try to quickly go over the rules. Basically right now I'm the murderer, and I am attempting to kill a specific target who is now hungry, which is good for us. Inspection. Inspection. I see, I see. Also, welcome, Rice Cake. Sherlock is left floundering in the dark. Alright, so. Right now, he has an idea that several people can still be victims. He's pretty much figured out Catherine isn't anybody. But that's okay, that's okay. So, how should we control these people? He probably knows to be suspicious of Agatha at this point, but that's okay. Our hope is always that we've made her so suspicious that it loops back around and into being, well, there's no way that could be anything, right? I think what I want to continue doing is to to continue trying to take the food that he could give Ellery. So let's do that with Berkeley and with Dorothy. Alright, and let's hope Agatha doesn't like run in the other direction or something stupid. That is always a possibility. Well, he probably knows I'm controlling Agatha at this point, doesn't he? So maybe I could actually use Agatha to do it. I think it's probably fine even if he realizes that I'm doing that with Agatha. I'm just going to keep taking his food. He must know I'm using Agatha for suspicious purposes at this point, so... It's fine, even if he reveals that. I'll take this food here. Berkeley, you take that food there. Catherine is moving on down, but again, there's not really anything. It's not to my advantage for her to come join us because she's been revealed to be not the killer or the target, which means she's a very safe piece for Heat. All these characters are sticking together pretty well, which likely means I'm not going to be able to kill anyone with them until late into the game. What I'm hoping is I can keep them starved, the ones that I don't need to have food. And at some point they'll all be so weak that they can't serve as witnesses anyways. Alright, let's see. We have to keep controlling Agatha or he'll probably ironically use the killer to give Freeman some, or to give the hungry people some food. Let's see. We'll have Agatha search right here. We want to keep her close to Ellery if we can. And we will have, let's see. Berkeley and Dorothy are pretty much equivalent pieces right now. They all have the same potential to be a killer or a murderer. We'll go grab that food that's in here. He might be moving Catherine over here himself for the sake of getting a witness that he knows cannot be the murderer. It is possible, it is possible. We've opened up a secret passage. We have found some food with Berkeley. Yeah, Catherine's still making her way over here. I think he must have an idea that he's going to use her as a witness that he can trust. Thankfully, Dorothy just moved really far away without us having to do anything. That's always nice. If Freeman were to move out of the room right now, we would win. He is! Oh no, shoot. Ah, we were so close. If Freeman had just moved out of the room. Here we have the outsider once more. He's going to break in and cause trouble. He's kind of close to the group right now, so there's a pretty significant chance he becomes a factor that we have to deal with. Let's see. It's almost time for some more deductions. Things we want to do right now. So we are pretty sure that Heat is now using Catherine as his potential witness. I think probably what we want to do is let's move Catherine away. We don't want to let him have his way there. And we will also... We really don't want to let him have Agatha give anybody food, so let's see how we stop that. Let's just have her stay right where she is. In the night, when the nighttime falls, there's a good chance that everyone will become very hungry. Freeman and Ellery are about to start starving, and I'm hoarding all of the food unless he has Berkeley give some. So what we're doing right now is just trying to keep all of the food away from Ellery if we can. I could win as early as tonight unless he moves Berkeley back into this room or Ellery out of this room. We'll see, we'll see. Yeah, definitely, it seems to me now that I've played a couple of matches that food is kind of Moriarty's weapon to use. But I think he did get the idea that Berkeley ought to be in here to act as a witness. That's a little bit annoying. I've unfortunately kept Berkeley pretty well stocked. I'm gonna have Catherine move way over here. Dorothy is going to... She's still in the other room, so that's good. She's going to stay pretty well fed and reveal a little bit more food for other characters. Ellery's not doing anything important. Except finding a knife, which is kind of funny. He's the victim. And Freeman is going to move in here. I think we're in a pretty good space. The only person we really have to take care of now is Berkeley, because Ellery is about to enter a state of extreme hunger. There is also a chance that this outsider gets in our way. Let's hope that doesn't happen. I think we're in a very, very good position here, though. I think everything is going exactly according to Keikaku. Let's see. So from this, he's gained just a little bit of new information, not much. He probably suspects that either Freeman or Ellery is the victim at this point. And I think he's guessed wrong. I think he's guessed that Freeman is the one. I think I've actually got him in checkmate here. Yes, yes, yes. I think I've got exactly the right situation here. I'll take Berkeley and move him away so he can't give any food to Ellery or act as a witness. He might use Dorothy, though. He might even try to use Agatha. Let's see, let's see. Yeah, the tricky part here is it's basically a coin toss. Is he going to try to use Agatha to give Ellery some food? Or is he going to try to use... or is he going to try to bring Dorothy down here to act as a witness? He could do either. In fact, he could even do more than that because he's got 3 turns. Let's see. I'm trying to decide if now is the right time to assail or not. I wonder if there's any chance that anybody gets more hungry as things go on. There probably is. If I continue to move Agatha along with Ellery and Freeman, and continue to move Berkeley away, then I've just got to keep controlling Agatha, because if I don't, he'll use that food at some point. I think I'm going to give it one more turn. Shoot, he did have Dorothy move. That could have been checkmate if he hadn't. He knew Agatha was the bad guy, so he tried to spray her. Unfortunately, I can use that against him right now. Still quite not in a checkmate situation, but I think we're getting very, very close. I think we are getting extremely close. That outsider really could pose a... Oh, actually, he's going to attack these guys first, so I think we're all okay. In fact, we might even be able to use them to take Berkeley out of play, which would be funny. There is a gas leak. That could be useful too in some ways. But we've got to keep controlling Agatha, or else she could give food to Ellery, and then my whole plan kind of falls apart. Alright, let's see. Catherine does not have any food to give Ellery, but she is a potentially useful witness. Dorothy is one that I pretty much have to take care of in some fashion right now. Catherine could run all the way up in here and act as a witness if I try to kill Ellery, so that's unfortunate. Alright, we'll have Dorothy go stand in that poison cloud. Actually, we don't even need to do that. We could have her go stand in this poison cloud up here and be further out of the way. If we move her too far, then it'll be apparent we're controlling her. Maybe I'll just move her this far. He's probably going to try to control Dorothy too, though, so this will reveal what's going on. He's definitely put together. Ellery is the one that I'm going after. But the key is, can I make that a non-factor? I've basically got to neutralize both Catherine and Dorothy at this point in some fashion. Let's see. What has he decided to do? To fully explain Ellery's condition, he can only move one space. He can't really act as like a witness or anything either. Freeman is kind of in the same state. Although Freeman actually has food now, which is not good. Alright, he is indeed moving Catherine. But he kind of maybe moved her the wrong place. Move Dorothy over here to be poisoned. Oof, he just escaped. If he had if he had left Ellis in the room, then, or Ellery in the room, then he would have been in trouble. Ah, shoot, but he's got lots of capable witnesses again. This is not good. Although Freeman is about to be made incapable at the hands of this traitor. Yeah, I did get to play the Moriarty role, and I actually won 2 Moriarty games in a row. And this is my 3rd Moriarty game. We will see if I can manage another one. This one is not going quite as well. It seemed like it was going pretty well, but now he's got a number of capable witnesses around the person he's definitely determined to be the victim at this point. Alright. So we've only got 2 turns left. I think what I'm going to try to do is we will try to neutralize Berkeley by putting him into this gas, perhaps. And we have to move Agatha. We really don't have a choice there. Berkeley is also capable of feeding Ellery, which is something we have to prevent. Let's see. We'll just move into the room with Ellery for now. He will probably take this time to move Catherine into the room as well. So this will not be our checkmate yet. I'm not sure if we'll get it. we're just gonna have to see. We're just gonna have to see. The characters are all pretty much within 3 moves of each other, which means his deduction coming up, I don't think will give him too much more information. I'm hoping that Outsider continues to trash Freeman, or perhaps he has to use Freeman to take care of that Outsider. Because the more that guy chops at him with his axe, the better off we are. Here's Agatha. Berkeley is going to go in here. It doesn't look like he was controlling Berkeley, surprisingly. He might control Dorothy to take over that gas leak, which would be... to take care of the gas leak, which would be unfortunate. Freeman's coming in here. So that Outsider will probably either go after Freeman or Dorothy right now, which would be very convenient. There goes Ellery. The Outsider has decided to go after Freeman. Okay, that's still fine. Now Berkeley is also poisoned. Let's see how this goes. So the only thing he really figured out is Freeman can't be targeting or be targeted by Berkeley. I mean, he pretty much knows who the killer and who the victim is at this point. The question is there anyone left who can act as his witness? Alright, let's see. Where does this leave us? Berkeley is still a little bit of a threat. Catherine is still a little bit of a threat. How should we handle that? I have a plan, but it requires me to... I mean, I basically have to assail this turn because I think it's the last turn. If I don't assail successfully, I get one more turn. So I think it's really going to be a toss-up as to whether he tries to move Berkeley in here to act as a witness. He'll probably try to move Berkeley in here to act as a witness, and he'll move Catherine in here as well. So, if he moves Berkeley in here to act as a witness, Berkeley has to end up standing right here. That means he can't use Berkeley to turn off that gas pipe right now, which would be very much disadvantage. Let's move Catherine in here to get poisoned for now. We'll see how this goes. Berkeley is indeed moving down to turn off the gas pipe. Wait, no, he didn't control Berkeley at all. I might have this. This might be it. Dorothy, he's not really controlling Dorothy. He's probably trying to control Agatha, thinking maybe I'd leave her hands off to just stand in the room. Ah, yes, I got it. I think he's done. I think this is it. Because none of the people in here... Oh, wait, the... Oh, no, I forgot the... the stupid Outsider can act as a victim. I mean, as a witness. I completely forgot. That's right, because the Outsider is still here as a witness. No, don't attack Agatha! I can't believe it. He attacked the one person that was the worst to attack in this situation. But I think I got it. I think this is it. Because he can only move one space now, no matter where he goes. And everybody is knocked out, literally. Like, nobody has any faculty left. So I think all I have to do is assail Ellery, and then I'll have somebody else knock out the outsiders so that they're not a witness. Let's see. Punch out that traitor. Alright. It's my game, I think. Let us see how it unfolds. You tried hard, Heat, but I am simply unassailable. My murder prowess. If he manages to pull this back somehow, I'll be very, very surprised. You know, I just thought of something stupid. If he flees down here, and Berkeley moves, or sorry, no, neither of them have any food. There's nothing they can do. Even the ones who could theoretically cure themselves with food are powerless to do so. Now he does have a what do you call it, a tear gas he could throw. I wonder if that will come into play. I'd imagine he's going to play as tricky as he can here, because he sees the checkmate he's in otherwise. Let's see. What will happen? Dorothy will punch out that outsider. No more witnesses. Ellery will attempt to escape over here with Freeman. Freeman will move over here and throw a tear gas, but I think it's too late. I don't think that'll work on Agatha at this point, because she's not going to end up standing in it. And now Agatha will take out her target. Ooh. Unless I'm once again wrong about the rules of the game, in which case she will not. Yes! Yeah! There we go. 3 in a row. 3 in a row. Ah, Moriarty. You are victorious this day. Also, we get to see Agatha's creepy killer face, which is also nice. Alright, thanks for another good game, Heat. That was definitely a situation where I was able to starve them out, so I think that that worked to my advantage. Several things went unfortunately there, I'm afraid. Alright, so we will update to 1.5, and there we go. Thanks again for playing, Heat. It's been a lot of fun. We're almost at 3 hours now. I'd like to play Crimesight again in the future. Maybe we'll schedule another stream around it at some point. It's been a really fun game. I think that I've just been lucky today. But anyways, yeah, we figured out some new strategies and stuff. It's been a very productive day in terms of my education on Crimesight. Thank you again for joining us, Injo, and the rest of you who did. I think I'm going to find someone to raid real quick, and then we'll head on out for the day. You can't believe how that last one went, huh? It was all part of my plan, all part of my master strategy. Let's see, who are we going to raid? Ah, yes. The strategic mastermind that I am and have always been. Who should we raid? Who should we raid? How about... You know, I'm not sure if I've ever managed to raid Bear before, and I know that they are currently playing Shulip, which there's like sort of is their dedicated game, like their personal baby, because they're the Shulip VTuber. Literally everyone blind, despite your best efforts to get everyone resources. Yeah, sorry about that. I was purposefully sending everybody after the food, and then controlling the ones that had food so that you couldn't have them give Ellery food. Oh boy. But yeah, let's raid Bear. I'll type it in. Thanks again for joining us. If you're interested, Monday I'll be doing another Danganronpa read-along of Antebellum. We'll also have some other fun events throughout the week. And if you ever get Crimesight and you want to play against somebody, hit me up. I'd be happy to play a few rounds with you. Thanks again. Bear eat salmon. There we go. Let's see, you identified the culprit real early, but had a hard time figuring out the villain. Yep. You thought maybe I was using Agatha as my fake killer, but she was actually the real killer. Oh, the victim. Okay. Yeah, for a while there, it seemed like it was evenly split between Ellery and Friedman. Understandable. That part was just a lucky coincidence on my part. Okay, let's see. I'm going to make sure they're not ending stream. Alright, looks good. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.